I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but Don Ferrier was with an illegal immigrant who had been criminally charged with vehicular manslaughter due to drinking and driving right after my grandma had been killed, and me and my son had moved out here to Michigan the first time in 94. My point here is this. Don Ferrier attempted to hide the identity of this man and to hide where he was. I happen to believe that he's either related to Felicia Gonzalez's father or he is Felicia Gonzalez's father. It's one of the two, because all these guys are associated together out at that trailer park that was out there in Sister Lakes, or on the over by 5 Mile in Cass County on the way to Sister Lakes. From Dowagiac, on the right-hand side there, the one that Felicia Gonzalez lived in when Mr. Carpenter was soliciting her. These are all people that knew Ward Bell and also knew who my grandmother was. My grandma Faith Ann Falk Bell. You know, the one that was married to Ward Bell, which would have ticked off the Motts because those are actually his kids. They were her they would be her step people. But the inheritance that she had didn't actually belong to her. It was belonging to me and my mother. So she was just holding inheritance. And then Ward became the executor of that inheritance, not the owner. So we've got some property here that Ward lied about. He told me that he had the stuff for us. And so for these guys to sit here and just try to lie and manipulate and try to hide our inheritance is just disgusting. And to see that a pastor, Jamie Saylor's involved in all of that too. These guys knew my grandmother. They hung out with Elizabeth St. Cyr and Grace's grandkids with Roy and all of that. They all went to school together. And so there's a big issue here, especially knowing that my mother and my grandmother and my aunts have all three. There's questions into all three of their deaths. And then we have Mr. Drake, who actually had the aircraft that gave him the access to have killed all three of them, who is part of Ronald's family. So we've got some serious issues here with regards to these guys that wrongfully removed my daughter. Now, if you look at the big picture, you can see why I flipped out and acted, really spastic about it. You would have too if you didn't know who killed your mother, your grandmother, and your aunt, and you had been hit in the head and somebody attempted to kill you too. Not just once, several times. So we've all got an understanding here. That's pretty much the basis of it. That's just one group of people, and the problems that they have in holding grudges. I also know there's a deal with Roy having ripped up his birth certificate, which I don't really know about other than, Jeremy Truitt went to school with these guys, and he's got some big money things going on. This is the same person who banked at Chemical Bank and was also involved in my case over at Fifth Third. So there's some suspicious things going on here, especially when you add in Huntington Bank and the fact that they've already been caught embezzling people's money and their inheritance. And now we've got the court as well. So we've got some explaining to do on these guys' parts. So, the feds are probably going to want to talk to you guys. With God's love. God bless America. Have a blessed day. And back the badge. Oh, and bring my daughters, both of them, because I've proven my case. Back the badge.